Of significance to note is that in the 2021-2022 financial year, the audit opinion was based on adverse findings in 3 areas in particular, namely cash flow, trade payables, and assets. Significant improvements were made to resolve some of these challenges, and while the subsequent qualified audit outcome of 2022-2023 financial year is still negative, it does represent an improvement in governance. This is the result of measures being put in place to stabilize the municipalities' finance and governance. As part of providing support to municipalities, the Gauteng Provincial Treasury has embarked on operational plans, support and monitoring activities. These include activities to improve the financial reporting control environment. On a quarterly basis, the team responsible assesses whether municipalities comply with the Municipal Finance Management Act. These assessments reports identify opportunities for improvement within the financial reporting control environment. The Gauteng Provincial Treasury assesses if municipalities are performing their key control testing, while also assessing whether municipalities are implementing action plans developed in response to the outcomes of the previous year's audit process. These plans are a requirement in terms of Section 131 of the Municipal Finance Management Act. On a quarterly basis, the team also assesses the functionality of governance structures, internal audit activities, and audit committees. The functionality of governance structures supports municipalities in achieving their own targets through systematic processes that identify and manage risks associated with the municipality's objectives. Beyond the standard support given to municipalities, the Gauteng Provincial Treasury has also introduced new initiatives to improve the credibility of the annual financial statements. We have introduced the Annual Financial Statement Accelerator Program, which requires municipalities to produce interim financial statements. Another initiative explored by the introduction of the Audit Preparation Workshop, where the role of municipal managers, chief financial officers, audit committee chairpersons, and chief audit executives were highlighted for the current audit process. The workshop was organized in conjunction with the Office of the Auditor General of South Africa, Provincial COGTA, and the South African Local Government Association, which is SALGA. The idea is to create a culture shift where annual financial statements preparation is viewed as a year-long process informed by daily, weekly, and monthly disciplines. We believe that through these interventions, the City of Tshwane will be able to improve its financial position and obtain a positive audit outcome. The Gauteng Provincial Government has prioritized municipal payments to ensure that they contribute to the financial stability and sustainability of the City of Tshwane. This consistent financial support underscores the importance of municipal payments in maintaining the city's economic growth. Engagement between the Gauteng Provincial Treasury and the City of Tshwane will remain continuous as we provide the necessary technical support to aid the municipality in its service delivery effort. We will endeavor to communicate with the public to ensure accountability and transparency. Our statement ends there. We will then ask the Mayor to respond.
Thank you so much, MEC, Deputy Executive Mayor, the officials and the members of the public, and to South Africans, good morning. We are sufficiently covered in terms of the statement, but there are just issues that I want to illuminate. One, the team, my mayoral committee has been in place now for 2 weeks. We have used the time, MEC, to farm information so we can inform the decisions and the plans of the new administration. As a result, tomorrow we are announcing our 100 days plan. Now I feel like I'm already leaking information by sharing some of the issues here, but we'll do overview so that my colleagues don't think that I leak information wherever I go. But I think first of all, MEC, let's appreciate this platform and the support that the provincial government and National Treasury in particular is giving to us, not only as the City of Tshwane, the institution, but this new administration. The reality is that the budget that we have in the city is unfunded. We are in deficit of over 4 billion rands. Now, we have ambitions to deliver services to the people, but if you don't fix your fiscus, there's not much that you can do. So the reality that we are confronted with is that the first thing that this administration must do is to exercise discipline in a way that we have an ambitious target of achieving a funded budget in the next few months. And whatever we're going to do in terms of the commitments we're going to make on the side of the expenditure, on the side of revenue generation, it must talk to this ambitious target of getting a funded budget in the first time in a couple of years. So that's the first thing that this administration has made a firm commitment on. The second thing is the issue of the expenditure patterns. It's not a secret that, for instance, we owe our workforce in the city for 2 years that they did not get an increase. We are in talks in terms of how do we manage such amounts that we owe them so that we don't shock the system and we do not shock the expenditure patterns. But of more concern to us is the payment of ESCOM debt. We have started with the conversations with the Minister of Electricity, and we will share what the details are, because we believe that if we deal with the issue of the ESCOM debt, we will gonna alleviate a lot of pressure on the side of the fiscus of the city. On the side of the capital expenditure, so the reality is that if you have money that you have in your space, even if it's limited, you must be able to spend that money. And the patterns that you are presenting here, they really are not good, but we do have a plan that we're going to accelerate our expenditure on capital expenditure. Mostly because MEC, the moment we start projects in communities and we do not complete them, we become liars. Then communities don't trust us, that they sitting with white elephant projects in their communities that have a negative effect in the community. And we do have some projections where by end of quarter two, the current quarter that we're at, we're looking at over 40% of expenditure. So we can avoid the issue of retaining the money. That's something that this administration has pronounced that we do not want. But the issue of improve governance outcomes, the audit outcomes, the Deputy Executive Mayor will touch on that. But it's something that we are also seized with to make sure that we never go back to a situation where this city finds itself in like having adverse findings. But it's going to be important that as we build the fiscus, you already show us that we are owed more than 24 billion rands. What it means is that there are actions that we need to take on our debtors book. Not all that is there is something that can be recoverable. So this administration has made a decision how we move from that, and that will be shared. But in addition to that, we need to be creative about key services that generate revenue for the city. There's a program that we are undertaking to, obviously it's a National Treasury initiated reforms on the trading services, how we deal with our water infrastructure as a service, as a trading service, electricity and waste management. As a council, end of August, we had approved already the water turnaround strategy. This council on Thursday, we're approving the electricity turnaround strategy, and then we're going to deal with the third one. We believe that the outcomes of these reforms are going to yield major benefits for the city. We can't talk about revenue generation, as you correctly said, MEC, without talking about building the economy of the city. So we need to talk about how are we going to inject some life in the economy of the city so that we can expand our pool of taxpayers in the city. So that's something that we're going to talk about. And of course, for our financial recovery, we do have a funding plan that is approved by and endorsed by National Treasury. We have a financial recovery plan that we are reviewing, but also we need to start having long-term planning in terms of how do we position the City of Tshwane as the capital city of the Republic. But lastly, we can't do this without taking the residents along. So we do have plans in terms of how, from our side as the City of Tshwane, we'll be able to take the residents along, so that the one thing that the administration says, while we appreciate Tshwane Yadima sends a particular message, there's a message that is missing, that of a caring government. And that's something that we have prioritized as well. So, Deputy Executive Mayor, let's change chairs. Yes.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor, MEC of Finance and Economic Development, City Manager, and HOD. I'm now being exposed because the Executive Mayor said we must not speak about things we are going to speak about tomorrow because we are not approved to do so. But as you know, the media is naughty. They'll say that they are hiding something. So I'll just talk about what we have established in terms of responding to the AG. We have established a committee called Citywide Auditing Steering Committee. It's chaired by the CFO. Its primary purpose is to monitor status quo of management response about audit matters. And it meets twice in a week, Tuesday and Thursday, without fail. And another committee is called MCAM, Municipal Continuous Audit Monitoring. Is chaired by the city manager. Its objective is monitoring and providing management response to any material issues concerning the AG, meaning response to the recommendations. And the other committee is called ETA, Executive Audit Tracking. Its objective is to monitor the status of audit and keeping the executive up to speed with the developments. The other one is called RTTA, Rebuilding Tshwane Tax Administration, because what is our plan or objective is to ensure that we surpass the 4 billion collection mark so that we stabilize the finances of the city. This committee is chaired by the MMC of Finance, who is the Deputy City Manager. It's monitor day-to-day collections and implement revenue management strategies. It meets once a week. I think this will be enough in terms of responding to audit and finances. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, colleagues, we can now take questions. Can raise any questions that we have. Number one.
Media house and the name.
Yes, start with the name, media house, and then country. And then the third one, we can start with the two.
Tabi Sokoba from Eyewitness News. I'm sorry, MEC. I didn't quite hear it correctly. I heard it's 24 billion for debtors, but I didn't get the figure for creditors. I don't know if it was close to 100 billion rand. That's why I just want to get that. In terms of the ESCOM dates, MEC, I think you said there isn't a correlation between what's on the city's books and what's on ESCOM's books. What has caused that misinformation, if I can call it that? And maybe can we get maybe how much does ESCOM think the city owes, and how much does the city think it owes to ESCOM? And my final question is around the unspent grants. Whether these are capital or conditional grants, do we have a figure or a rate of how many percentages was unspent by the city in the previous financial year?
This question is directed at you. In your presentation, you speak of efforts to improve the integrity of annual financial statements, and this is through the introduction of our regular quarterly meetings. Do you perhaps suspect that there has been some foul play in the past in terms of the falsification of financial statements?
Fully Treaty Jones, ENCA. This is open to anyone. Just how bad is the situation, and could it possibly impact service delivery going forward? And then number two, the money that was used, especially the grants as well, where was it repurposed? Was it more affluent areas to address issues in the affluent areas, or in the townships as well? What did you find? Thank you.
Thank you. MEC?
You want to start, Mayor, with where the money was redirected?
Okay, no problem. I can start with how bad is the situation. I think, as I said in my opening remarks, having an unfunded budget means that you have budgeted for something, for money that you don't have in the bank. So that would be the first statement, and that this has been happening for a couple of years now. So that's the first in terms of how bad it is. What it means is that we have a situation with our capital budget that in 2019 it was at 4 billion rands, and now it has decreased to about 2.3 billion rands. So what it means, again, practically on the ground, is that we've got projects that we as the city started when we used to be healthy financially, that those projects are abandoned, and we do not have the cash to go back to finish those projects. So normally that would be how it is. It's easy for residents to say how bad it is. Secondly, the budget that we have on operational expenditure, we have not invested, for instance, for a couple of years in public lighting in a way that we're supposed to. That the residents of Tshwane, wherever you go, they will be complaining that their the street lights have been off for a couple of years. So that's one. Number two, we've been dealing with a lot of outages. The outages are as a result of various things. One of it is issues of theft and vandalism, but in the main, it's because of lack of maintenance on our infrastructure, that we haven't had the fiscal muscle to invest in repairs and maintenance as per the norms that the National Treasury will give you. And obviously that has a rippled effect, that's outages, but also in terms of our water infrastructure. We've got a lot of leaks in the city. We still have asbestos pipe. This morning we were in Ward 2 in Pretoria North, where the asbestos pipe, the season is changing, and it has an impact on
Dr. Nasiphi Moya there, the Mayor of Tshwane, currently giving a media briefing, outline interventions to try to turn the city's purse or the city's finances around.